All right, there we go. So we are recording this meeting. Once again, thank you all so much for joining us. We are so thrilled to have our Pierce family coming back, even if it's in a virtual way. As you can see here, we've got our new Pierce logo that we developed last year, where we are committed to ensuring that all of our students are respectful, compassionate, collaborative, hardworking problem solvers. And that does not change, even if we are in a 100% virtual format. All right, so the first thing we just want to say, well, we all can just take a minute to acknowledge how we feel right now. I think we would all admit that this is extremely overwhelming. This is not something that we've ever done before to deliver our instruction in a virtual format. None of us have had a global pandemic to deal with before. So we've just been telling our staff, and we will tell you, and we'll tell our kids, like, we all need to honor those feelings and just give grace to ourselves and those around us, because this is a very overwhelming place to be. But we will just take one step at a time, and we will all get through this together as a school community. So tonight we're going to talk about virtual learning. We're going to cover 4 different areas: the virtual schedule, teacher-directed and independent learning, and the at-home environment, and also community and communication, kind of what you can expect from us on those fronts. All right, let's talk about the virtual schedule. So as we get started, as you all know, our school board made a decision last Monday to change from a blended model to, with a virtual option, to a 100% virtual model. So we had to completely switch gears because Mrs. Kukowski and I, along with the other school administrators, had been working for months on the blended plan, and we were feeling really solid about where we were with that plan. So Tuesday morning came, and we had to completely change direction. And so what that means, and it's going to be kind of, we're going to ease in a way. So I'll explain to you what that's going to look like. We're going to show you some detailed schedules of what you can expect from your children's schedules, what you can expect them to look like. But we also want you to know that we are going to work up to that full schedule, because this is new for you. It's new for us. So we're going to need to work out some kinks before we're ready to go full blown. So basically, week 1, you can expect that each of your child's teachers will connect individually with you to ensure that you can get connected, logged in to the Google Classroom and the class meetings. And then the teachers will hold their class meetings, the short class meetings, that week. But that week will mostly entail us making sure that each and every child can connect, can access the Google Classrooms and get to what they need. Then week 2, once we're sure we've got everybody connected, then the teachers will begin to establish routines, teach the guidelines for virtual learning, and set the expectations for learning. For those of you who are returning Turtle families, you know that we are a PBIS school, which is the Positive Behavior Intervention Systems, where we teach our positive expectations for every environment. So what we'll be adding to that will be what that looks like in a virtual classroom. So you might have heard me say on the call last year, this week's focus is the hallway or the bathroom. So this year we'll be setting up those focus spots in the virtual classroom. And then you see the note there that we'll be building up to our full schedule the week after Labor Day, September 8th. If you've seen the FCPS site, you see that this is what our overall schedule is going to look like on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Each day will include a combination of in-person or what we call synchronous class time, independent work, and small groups. And we're going to break this down for you even more. But a few things I'll point out. Mr. Royson's going to start each day with a live morning workout. We're hoping to get that started quickly. I'm not going to promise we're going to figure it out by day one, but our plan is to start each day for everyone with a live workout to get up and get moving, and then we'll do Turtle TV and then get started into the different aspects of the day. So this is the big picture schedule. And when you're looking at this, if you see language arts, 90 minutes, and then you think, oh my goodness, my child cannot sit in front of a computer for 90 minutes, do not worry. That is not what it's going to look like. That 90 minutes will be a combination of maybe a whole group, independent activities, a small group, just like in the classroom, what it would have looked like. So we won't have, just like a teacher would not stand up in front of the class and lecture for 90 minutes, we're not going to do that in a virtual platform either. Many folks have been asking, well, what if we can't be there at that time? So our plan is that lessons will be recorded and everything will be posted in Google Classroom so that you will have flexibility with that. Certain aspects of the schedule, like the LAMP time, that's our library, art, music, and PE. Those are built into the schedule, but they will be recorded so that you will have the flexibility to put those pieces in according to your schedule. And a lot of the schedule is going to be like that. So we'll keep moving and I'll show you a little bit more of what that's going to look like. So this is just kind of a breakdown of what a week would look like. And this is not time specific or specific at all, but just to give you a visual. So you've got your 5-day week, and then every class is going to have a morning meeting, or 4th and 5th are going to have a class meeting at the end of their day. There'll be live teaching, there'll be independent work. The kids will get an hour off to eat lunch and have their own recess time. Then there'll be some more live teaching and independent work time. And what we have done is we have put in here for you, this is what a kindergarten schedule might look like. Ms. Kukowski, do you want to walk through that?
Sure. So in the morning, they'll start out with their morning meeting and office hours by appointment or scheduled with the teachers. And then they're going to do a whole group language arts block. And this might be where we talk about a recorded session to where, you know, if you're not always available during that whole group time, you can come back and do that at a later point. And then following that will be the small groups where they're working with individual students or small groups of students on those language arts skills. And the teachers will be reaching out to each family, again, like we said, to kind of really develop, you know, what's your guys' availability during the day to fit your child in. And then their lunch and recess on their own. And then we broke down math in a whole group lesson, and then small group for math, and then a break, and then science and social studies where they're bringing in their themes to the day and wrapping it up with LAMP at the end of the day.
So that's an example, and each of you will be getting this specific schedule. One of the things that we learned from the spring is that we felt that the small group instructional sessions are sometimes far more powerful. So that's like Mrs. Kukowski said, the teacher might tee up the whole group in something that's recorded for the student to watch before their small group time. So if you're thinking about scheduling, and let's just say your student's small group time is 10:45, then they would be able to put that whole group piece and the small group piece together. So we're really trying to design this for flexibility for families. So what will Wednesdays look like in a typical week? And I say a typical week because if there is a week with a holiday, like Labor Day week, for example, this will not be the case. But for a typical week, for students, they'll use the day to work on their asynchronous or independent learning, use the time to unplug and recharge, and then perhaps explore a hobby or an interest. And it's built to be flexible for students. They might have a fun project that they're working on that won't involve the computer. So that's kind of what the Wednesday will look like for students. For parents, parents and students will have an option to connect with the teacher during scheduled office hours by appointment. And that, I forgot, or I'm not sure if we pointed out earlier, that there will be daily office hours, morning and afternoon every day. And then Wednesdays, you can also make appointments if you have specific things that you want to talk to the teacher about. And then for teachers, that will be office hours. They will be planning. They will be doing professional development, collaborative teacher time. They'll be recording lessons. So that will be a very busy day for the staff. Now, on a week such as Labor Day, where there is a 4-day week, then this day would come out, and it would be the 4 days would be Tuesday through Friday. So the components of that virtual day, every student is going to have a live class meeting 4 days a week, once each day, approximately 30 minutes. It will be consistent every day. And this is where the teacher will set expectations for the day, or for the 4th and 5th graders, wrap up the day and set up the next day. They'll be building community. And this is where our new social emotional curriculum will come into play. We are implementing a new program this year called Second Step, and it's a social emotional curriculum. So that will be built into that class meeting. And while this was in the works before the pandemic, it just works out quite well, because this is a time where we really, we all need that social emotional support. There'll be live teaching 4 days a week. You'll have at least twice a day of live time with the teacher. It also will be consistent, morning and afternoon, and it'll be scheduled and staggered, meaning if the teacher has 4 small groups, then each group has their staggered time. And there'll be a mixture of whole and small group instruction. And then there'll be independent work, which will be required but flexible. There'll be suggested times to do it, but of course you'll have flexibility there. And a mixture of online content and hands-on activities. And again, the LAMP, or that's your library, art, music. And then these are some of the questions that we had from different folks, and we just want to make sure that you know that all of these services will still be on programs. We'll still have them. So library, art, music, PE, reading labs, special education, gifted services, speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy, English as a second language, school counseling, and meals. These are all things that we will continue to do. Some of them will be added small group time into that schedule. All right, so second part is teacher-directed or independent learning. And I'm going to let Mrs. Kakowski take over here.
All right. So how we will deliver the content, again, we are committed to those live teacher lessons, and that will be through Google Meet. You'll be getting your login information and class access code Thursday or at another time if you're not able to make it. So it will be, again, through Google Classroom, and each grade level will have a website that is easy access. For our students in grades 3, 4, and 5, there will still be a component of Blackboard that will be used, and that's where the grading component will come in, because that is our learning management system. And then any hard copies that students might need or textbooks, that is also going to be available. We're still working out the details with transportation as to how we can get those to families that might need it. So that will definitely be coming in the weeks to come.
So here we have options for when to complete the asynchronous or independent work. And basically, this is our new mantra: just be flexible and give yourself grace. You're going to work around your family's schedule. Each grade level will be giving you a suggested schedule, but we do suggest that you chunk activities into smaller sections of time to meet your family's needs. Wednesdays are a great flex day. Mr. Royston's calling that the rest day for his workouts. And then you can take some of those things into evenings or weekends. For example, I've had many folks say to me, and I find myself in this situation, I'm at work all day. What if I want to work on something with my kids? Yes, you can definitely do that. And the teachers will be reaching out to you to get a sense of what you think is going to work best for your family, and then we'll work with you to accommodate that. The beauty of Google Classroom is that the assignments can be submitted in the Google Classroom at any time by the deadline that the teachers set. When we post this presentation, this is a tutorial video on how to navigate Google Classroom. It's super easy. It keeps you organized and keeps all the kids' things in one spot, and then it creates connections and allows for collaboration. And Mrs. Kakowski is the expert here.
Yeah, so there is, there's the Google Meet, and that's, in the spring when we shut down, teachers were constantly sending out links to their Google Meets, and now there's a unique code that is assigned to each classroom or teacher that has their own Google Classroom. So it's already built in, and it's a one-click shop for you. Students will have access to the components of the Google Suite for Education, such as Google Docs, Sheets, slides, to create and do some of the projects that the teachers assign in there. And then we have used Flipgrid in the past, and our teachers are currently working on a little Meet the Teacher Flipgrid that we will post before Thursday for you guys to view. But Flipgrid is integrated into Google, and that is an opportunity for students to create their videos in response to a project that might be assigned to them. And then there is an app for Google Classroom, so you can go ahead and get that downloaded. And then when you have their Google login information, you can put that directly on your smartphone.
Some folks have asked me, will my child be able to do everything they need to do on their phone? There is the ability to do most everything from a smartphone. I asked my daughter, who's a middle schooler, about that, and she said, yeah, you can do it, but sometimes it can be more challenging. So if your only device is a smartphone, you may want to reach out to us and talk through that. We may be able to help you out with that, because it will make some tasks more challenging. Now, you're probably wondering, I've never had school at home, so what should that look like? So we recommend that every child have a distraction-free learning space at home. You all as a family will have to determine a flexible schedule that meets the needs of your family. They will need a device, a Chromebook, laptop, tablet, and headphones are usually helpful, especially if you have multiple learners in one space. Students will still need their school supplies, and I did edit the list and send it out with the Sunday call, and took off the things like change of clothes for kindergarten and Ziploc bags and those types of things, but it's still the basic same list. If anyone needs assistance with school supplies, please do not hesitate to contact us here at school, and we can help you out with that. One of the things you definitely will need is a lot of positive self-talk. You know, this is going to be challenging for all of us, but when we're working with the kids, just that we can all do this. We can do hard things. And then, of course, a support system. We are here for you. Keep the lines of communication open, and we will all work through this together. The last part we just want to talk a little bit is about community and communication. We will continue to do our Sunday call and email. If you are not receiving the emails, I would say check your junk or your spam folder. Sometimes, especially Gmail is famous for changing settings, and those emails will get filtered out. But each call that you receive from us comes with an email. And if you are not receiving those, let us know, and we will see what we can do about that. You will also continue to receive newsletters from each grade level. We'll have Turtle TV, and we are working on the format on that. We are trying to determine if we are going to stick with our YouTube channel for that. So just stay tuned, and we'll confirm how Turtle TV is going to come out, and that will be the same with the morning wake up workouts. And then also, as we mentioned before, teacher office hours daily for you to reach out. We definitely want folks to connect with our PTO. We have Misty Andrews and Angela George returning to our PTO board. We are looking for more folks to join our PTO, and we'll be taking nominations for those other officer spots. And this is their Gmail, but we will be setting up a PTO meeting, and we'll get that date out to you guys, but it will be a virtual meeting as well. All right, so important information and dates. We just want to make sure that you all are aware. Every child should be receiving something in the mail. Hopefully, those should start coming tomorrow. But class placements are also available in Campus Parent Portal, and teachers are beginning to reach out to their classes. As we mentioned, the grade level specific schedules will be coming out this week. I mentioned the school supplies, call us. Meals and power packs will still be offered. We will need to get back to you on the details of what that's going to look like. They're still working through that. And again, the PTO is TBD. We'll get you that date as soon as we have it. On Thursday, we'll be doing our drive-through Meet the Teacher from 4 to 6 p.m. We're going to have that set up where you'll enter through the bus loop and then drive from the front to the back. We'll have a lot of folks out there to direct traffic. But what we would love for you guys to have is write your child's name and their teacher's name on a piece of paper that you can hold up, and that will help us speed the process. And we're going to have grade level tents set up, and they will be handing you some welcome information to welcome everybody to the school year. And that's going to include those Google logins that everyone's going to need. And if you can't make it, that's okay. We will find another way to get them to you. For those who have requested devices and or hotspots, we'll be doing that distribution on Friday. We'll have 2 sessions, one from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and one from 4 to 6 p.m. We'll be doing that in the front across the bus loop. And we will be sending information directly to those who have requested devices to give you some more information about what you'll need to bring with you for that. If you did not already request a device in your online registration and you have not filled out the Google form or called us, you can still do so. So just let us know. We are doing everything we can to ensure that every one of our turtles has a device. Right now, in our first distribution, we are able to do 1 device per family for the school, unless you have 3 or more children. Then we are going to be looking at 2 devices. And if you have twins in the same grade level, obviously, we'll also be talking to you about the best way, because we want to make sure that everyone has access to what they need for their virtual learning. And then our first day of school will be Monday. So we're excited about that. I just want to thank you all for your flexibility, your patience, and your grace as we work through this. When I say that we literally had to stop everything and start over last Tuesday morning, that is a true story. And our teachers are working so hard to make this the best possible year for your kids. And our new school hashtag is Turtle Strong, because together we can get through any of this. So that is what we have for you all tonight. It's a lot of me talking, and I apologize for that. But I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then if you have questions, you can put them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. Okay, so the first question I see here is the schedule that we showed only for the first 2 weeks or for the whole year? All the schedules that we put up on the screen, the master schedule for the whole school and the kindergarten daily schedule, those will be the year for the semester. You can expect that first week that we will not be following those schedules. That first week, the teachers will do those morning meetings or those class meetings, depending on what grade level they are. But then they will work up to that schedule, so that we will hope that we will kick off that full schedule by that Tuesday after Labor Day. Somebody's asking about how do you sign up for the email or the phone calls? When your child is enrolled in, you've completed all of your registration and they're fully enrolled, you should automatically be getting those on Sundays. If you are not, give us a call and we'll check on that. But that it would depend on whatever email or phone numbers that you gave us in your registration.
And I will say, make sure you're checking your spam, because a lot of the emails from the county and from us somehow go there.
Can I bring my child's physical in the drive-by? Sure, we'll take it. How do you find out the teacher's name? The kids should be receiving something in the mail. Hopefully you'll start getting those tomorrow. The teachers are reaching out as well, but you can also go to your parent portal in campus and check, and it should be there. Mrs. Clayton, the answer to your question is yes. All right, so this is the big question. And as a full-time working mom with my husband working full-time plus, I share your question here. We're both full-time working parents. How are we going to make this work? And that is something where that is why we are building in as much flexibility as we can into the schedule. So if your child is in a place during the day where they might be able to do some of these things, even if they don't have internet or where they are, they could still do some of the independent work. We have also had parents requesting hotspots because their daycare provider may not have reliable internet. So that's another option, that if your child needs internet, we will be distributing hotspots for that. So that's a possibility. And we are going to just work with you to make sure that this is the least overwhelming as it can be. And it is unknown for all of us. So it feels really overwhelming right now. But it is our hope with the Google Classroom, with all of their stuff in one spot, that you'll be able to manage it. And if you are overwhelmed once we get started and you're having trouble with it, please just reach out and we'll figure out what we can do to work with you. We've got a question about books, library books, and textbooks. How will we get those? Excellent question. Textbooks, some of those will be given to you on Thursday when you're here, depending on the grade level and the content. Others will be scheduling additional distributions. As Mrs. Sikowski mentioned earlier too, we're working with the transportation department to have a delivery route. And one of the things that we have done is we have purchased colored bags by grade level so that every child has two. So we have a vision that each week there'll be one that's coming to you and one that's coming back to us. We're not exactly sure, it may not be every week either, but on some sort of schedule. Like if we have a project to get, and we'll come up with a way to work that out. Library books, we're going to hope to do that same way, but we're also going to do curbside for library, just like the public library does. So we'll be clearing out some parking spaces out in front of the library. But we, in addition to you all having options to come by and pick up stuff, we intend to find a way to deliver things as well. Oh, Liam, I don't know about the spelling bee. I'll have to get back to you on that. That's a great question. I hope so. Question about fifth graders. Will they have one or two teachers? Fifth grade has kept the same structure that they have had in the past, and fifth graders will have two teachers, sometimes three if you have Mrs. Parker. So they'll be getting that information out. Question about, will kindergartners be getting devices as well? Yes, kindergartners can request devices. Kindergarten, I can tell you, they are very, very committed to not overwhelming you and not overwhelming the kids. One of the things that we learned in the spring, one of the many things we've learned, is that it's really hard for 5-year-olds to attend to a virtual classroom. So we will be really focusing on our small group time for kindergarten and working up to longer periods of time for them. Question about teachers again. You can log into your parent portal. They should be available in there, and teachers, again, should have reached out, and hopefully the kids will be getting something in the mail tomorrow. If you aren't sure how to check the parent portal, Ms. Kukowski, do you want to take that one? She's a Pierce parent, so I'm going to let her explain that.
Yes. Once you log in, you should see a schedule button, and it's listed under there.
Great question about how will students' needs be met if they have a 504 or response to intervention services and accommodations. We will be working with you on that, and I'm going to let Mrs. Kukowski talk about that too.
Yes, our special education teachers should have touched base with our families so that you know who your new case manager is. Again, flexibility and grace, we're working out those schedules, so we'll be reaching out to you guys to talk about what those services will look like. And then the 504 plans, I will be in touch with you. RTI, the reading team, ESL, the same as well. Those teachers will be reaching out to talk about those services.
The next question, has the Blackboard login changed? Why, yes. And I just found this out myself. The school division has decided to streamline things so parents and students only have one login. So the Google logins are becoming the login. We also will be giving every student a QR code that is their Google login. So especially for our younger ones, that becomes very important because it's hard for them to enter the login. So I am told that Blackboard will be transitioning to the Google logins. Whether or not you can try that now, I'm not sure. So give it a try, let us know. Question about for kindergarten and the lower grades, how will work be, or any grade really, how will work be turned in? A lot of work will be turned in digitally through the Google Classroom. With Flipgrid, with your cameras on your devices, you can take snapshots and turn them in electronically. But if there is something that we need to collect hard copy, that will be when we will have those bags that I talked about that we may be coming around to pick up, or we may be having a drive-by. And there may be projects where we need to bring you materials. And that will all be in that same process. And we're still working out the details of what that's going to look like.
And there are some built-in features to Google Classroom. If the teacher is using Google Slides or a document, it can actually just be right in the classroom, and then the teacher can view it and provide feedback directly to the students.
Question about grading. The school board, the school administration presented to the school board that students will have the option at the end of the term to take the grade or take pass fail. For elementary school, that it's not quite that clear for us because preschool, kindergarten, first and second grade are all standards-based grading. So there's our 1, 2, 3s, and 4s based on where they are developmentally and reaching the standards. Third, fourth, and fifth have letter grades. So they will be graded as they normally would, but then at the end, we are told that you will have an option to take the grade or take a pass, because no one's going to fail. We don't allow that here. Question about, can we receive a classmates list with contact information? We'll have to get back to you on that. We cannot pass out anybody's personal information without without permission, of course. So let us look into how we would be able to do that.
There was a question kind of similar to that about some families are wanting to create learning pods and have access to the playground and that type of thing. At this time, we're not ready to commit to that, but it's definitely something that we have taken down and will consider helping you guys out to make that happen.
And while we're talking about the playground, I just want to say thank you to our PTO and to all of you, to all the kids, because our Booster-thon was such a huge success last year that we were able to finish the playground. So that was a very exciting thing that happened to keep us going over this pandemic. So when you ever get a chance, we have the new Denali net and some music pieces to our playground. So we're pretty excited about that. But we could not have done that without all of you who supported that Booster-thon and our PTO. So that's exciting news. Question about how promotions to the next grade will be determined. We'll be measuring student progress based on how they're progressing on the standards and the content of that grade level. So that will be the same as it would be in any other year. Question about if the county is collaborating with Virtual Virginia. Yes, we have an agreement with Virtual Virginia where we have access to the content and the training that Virtual Virginia offers. Virtual Virginia is just newly getting into the elementary world. But we have all done a training about teaching online through Virtual Virginia. Question about how we inform the teacher if there's internet connection issues. We are going to be, each teacher will be reaching out and establishing what the best modes of communication. I anticipate that first week there will be lots of phone calls here. We're going to do our best to kind of set up a help desk where there's a lot of us answering the phone to help folks. And we're going to set up some ways where we can provide support to you all, because it may not be the teacher who's going to be able to help you. If, let's say, the teacher's teaching the group and you can't get in, it might be that you would call the main office and then we get in and troubleshoot for you. But we will be getting you more specific information about what that's going to look like.
And some of our teachers use the Remind app, which is similar to text. So from a smartphone or a device that can allow that. So that's another way that they can get in touch with you guys.
And we have an instant messaging system here internally that if, let's say, Mrs. Smith is teaching and she gets a message from you that you can't get in and you need support, she can send us a quick message so that one of us can, someone else on the team can reach out and help you. Question about, are there any parent support groups for parents to share information with each other and connect and support? I would say I'd start with the PTO. But outside of that, I don't know of any other things that have formed in the community. I've been pretty busy right here in this building, so I'm not sure I have the best answer to that. But if I hear of anything, we'll make sure we share that. All right, this is a great question. The schedule says that it's 4 days a week. So does that mean that the kids will go 4 days or they'll be AB? We in elementary school are 4 days a week. And the reason for that is if you have high schoolers, you might see that they have maybe one whole day with all their live teaching and then a couple days where they're doing independent work. We felt very strongly with elementary that the smaller chunks of more personal learning time were more powerful. So that's why we have 4 days of the schedule instead of going with the AB. Written assignments, there's a question about how to submit written assignments or show math work. That is all built into the Google Classroom. Google Docs can be turned in right from the Google Classroom, from the device. Pictures can be taken. There's a lot of different ways to show the work and submit assignments. And the teachers will be teaching the kids all of these things. Another question about how will the start of the year student assessments work virtually? That is an excellent question, and we are still getting the answers to that question. We will still be doing our assessments, such as our PALS. We'll be doing MAP testing for reading and math, and we have not had our training yet on what that's going to look like. So once we know, we'll let you know. A question about, does Virtual Virginia play a role in the studies? Not really. Our teachers will be teaching the FCPS curriculum, following FCPS pacing. The teachers have access to the content from Virtual Virginia that they can embed in their lessons, but, and again, I mentioned the training before. Kindergarten parents should have received an email today from your teacher. If you did not, you can let us know. All right, this is a great question about what Thursday is going to look like for the Meet the Teacher. How's it going to work if you have multiple children in different grade levels? We are going to have a parade route. We're still working out the logistics if we can get 2 lanes through the parking lot or 1, but our hope is that we'll have tents set up down the middle, and then cars can go on either side, and then you can stop at the grade levels that you need to stop, where you need to stop. So if you have a kid in every grade level, you stop. And like I said before, if you have a sign with their name on it and their teacher name, that will help us move a little bit quicker. And then we'll hand you what we need to hand you, and that's what we're envisioning. We just have to go out and measure to make sure. If it's not 2 lanes, it'll be 1. But yes, you'll be able to do all of that without getting out of your car. There's a question about Imagine Learning. Our Imagine Learning accounts were shut down to transition into the new school year. I have not been given a date of when those will become available again, but hopefully that will be very soon, and we will let you know. What is the plan for inclement weather? We never have that here. I'll have to get back to you on that. All right, there's a question about tardiness and attendance. We will be getting very creative with attendance this year, where our initial attendance will be taken in the first live session that we're having for that day. But a student can also be counted present for completing the task or the work that went along with that lesson. So for example, if you're not there that day and you have to do it tonight, you just let the teacher know. And once the assignment is turned in, then you'll be given credit for the attendance for that day. So it'll be flexible. There's an idea about, we've had tried in the past to do parent partners for classrooms. That might be something that we can look into to help connect families, because that could definitely be helpful. Question about SOL testing. I don't know if we've been given the official answer on that.
Yeah, as of right now, the state superintendent has waived the accreditation for the school year, but not the physical test itself.
I envision that will happen, but I guess I don't know that. But we as a school system are required to show student growth and progress. So we'll be doing that through some of our other assessments. So we'll see where that all goes. PALS testing for kindergarten, nobody has missed it. We will be getting our information on what that's going to look like here soon, and we'll let you guys know when that will be. Question about if your child was in a reading group with the reading specialist in the past, will that be an option in this virtual format? Yes. So you'll see in the schedule, there's small group time and there's also extra small group time. So those reading specialists will, and other specialists that work with the kids will be working with the kids this year. Lots of questions about SOLs. Thanks for your patience on those. We will figure that out. Question about the second semester. We'll have to get back to you on that. And on that question, will the decision be made sooner than it was for this semester? I certainly hope so. Are masks required on Thursday? Not if you pop your trunk and we put stuff in the back, then no. Our staff will all have masks on.
I was just going to say, I would recommend that, yes, you do wear your mask so that if we have to put something in your car, that we're both protected.
All right, I see a question about substitutes. We are planning to work with our teachers and get creative with this virtual format. They may be able to preload the lessons for that day, or come up with an alternate plan for the day. You might see me or Mrs. Kikowski for your morning meeting or something like that. And then the PALS testing, we'll have to get back to you on that. All right, I think we got to the bottom of the questions. I'll wait just a minute in case of anyone else thought about anything else.
Just to recap, definitely once we provide this PowerPoint to you guys, make sure that you do watch the tutorial for Google Classroom, because in order to get that unique link assigned to your child and their teacher, you have to have joined the classroom. And we learned, for those of you that did summer school this summer, those first couple of days we were taking phone calls because you couldn't get into the link, and it's because you have to join the Google Classroom first, and our teachers will have information for you on Thursday as to step-by-step how to do that, but that video also walks you through that. So just a quick reminder about that.
And I appreciate all the encouragement that I see in the chat. We appreciate all of you. You guys are our turtle family. This is not how we wanted this to be. But we are going to do everything we can, like I said, to make this the most amazing experience we can. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us. No question's a bad question. If you're not sure if the device you have is going to work, give us a call. Whatever you think of, just let us know. And we're here for you. We will be sending out more details about Thursday to everyone, so you have a better idea of what the protocol will be for that. And also, we'll be sending out more about the Friday device distribution. But we appreciate all your time. I know this was an hour, so appreciate you sticking with us through it all. Again, don't hesitate to reach out, and don't forget to send some of that love and encouragement to the teachers. They are working so hard to do something that we've never done before. So just when you get a chance to do that, we encourage you to do that. Thank you all for all the amazing things you're doing with your kids. And we're excited for the year. Good
Bye,
night.
guys.